Hello, welcome to the Somerset News Network. I did this video a couple of days ago when the story first broke of Hunter Biden's laptop. I put it up on YouTube. I explained my side of the story and what I thought was going on, and it was taken down by YouTube. There's no sign of it. I didn't get a hit for copyright because I used somebody else's video. I didn't get a comment that it was false news or anything. It just got banished. It went up. It was up for 2 hours. I think about 3 people saw it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to explain again and do this video again and hope that YouTube doesn't remove it. We will try again, as they say. Now, we had the investigation by the Senate in America of Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, and his company that dealt with the Ukraine. And that the Ukrainian were paying him for influence through Joe Biden. So there's been a Senate committee that's looked at this and came out and said it. The story was being talked about a year ago about the influence that Joe Biden's son, Hunter, had on Joe Biden. Joe Biden denied everything. Well, you've got to say that. That's what he's saying. He doesn't have any interest, said Joe Biden, in what his son does. And we will show you what we showed you last time, that it's all connected. So, the story goes that Hunter Biden took his laptop into a repair guy, computer repair shop. The computer repair shop tried to get hold of Hunter Biden to get the laptop back. According to the rules in America, after 90 days, if you haven't retrieved your goods, the shop can then sell the goods to recoup its money. It becomes their property. So the guy waited 9 months. Not a word. As the story came on the television back in September, October last year, and the repair guy thought, I might have something interesting. This might be evidence. I'm going to have to give it up. So he took a copy of the hard drive. Now remember, after 90 days, it still becomes his property. So Joe Biden has voluntarily given up that information to somebody else. It has now become his property because they've gone past the 90 days. As far as I understand American law. Now, he then takes a copy of the hard drive, gives the laptop to the FBI, and the FBI do nothing. Come forward to this year. The repair guy then takes the hard drive to Rudy Giuliani, who was the mayor of New York and was a successful prosecutor. I think he brought down a lot of the mafia in New York. So, he looks at it, sees that yes, it is relevant. Yes, there's lots of information on it. So he gets Stephen Bannon involved. Steve Bannon then gives it to the New York Post, and the New York Post then issue the story. They only put out a little bit, a couple of emails, and the basic story of how they got hold of the hard drive. No law has been broken whatsoever. So Joe Biden and the left are now saying that this is Russian disinformation. But it can't be because Joe Biden gave up the laptop. It's off his information. It's not Russian disinformation. This morning, to add to my video that I made last time that was taken down, what they're doing this morning is they're showing a photograph of Rudy Giuliani with a dissident Russian agent. The agent is somebody who would be on the Russians' hit list if there was one. He is pro-American, anti-Putin. So he's not a Russian agent working for Russia. He's working against Russia. But they've put this photograph up. Oh, look, he's talking to the Russians. It's Russian disinformation. How they twist a story is unbelievable. And the mad thing is, people believe it. People believe the bullshit that they're being told. Anyway, on Crowder Town Hall on YouTube, he is interviewing Rudy Giuliani, and Rudy Giuliani explains what's on the laptop. Now, I'm sorry I'm using this, but I'm using it because we've got to get it from Rudy Giuliani himself. And I think this was a brilliant interview. I'll put a link to the full video that you can watch it down below.
Right. Okay. So let's get to this. This is I have to ask you some questions that obviously people want to see asked, both from the right and the left. But surmise here for people who don't know, because a lot of people get their information from Facebook and Twitter, and the story was throttled. We tested it, by the way. This is the first time I think it was ever retweeted by the president. We tested the New York Post article about your Hunter Biden emails, and it told us that it could not be posted. We have the screenshot available on my Twitter because it violated their policies. And then it was sort of disseminated, and Jack Dorsey apologized. He'll have to speak before a hearing. So for people who haven't heard yet, this is a bombshell in New York Post. What is it, if you have to give them the bullet points? Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, what's the implication here?
Hunter Biden and Joe Biden are involved in a bribery scheme in Ukraine. And Hunter Biden and Joe have for years said that Joe knew nothing about Burisma, the company that paid the bribe. That he knew nothing about his dealings in Ukraine. And what there is a cold, clear group of text messages in which Hunter Biden sets up a meeting for the number 2 person in that company with Joe Biden.
Right. Who
then texts Hunter back and thanks him. So it makes Joe a complete liar for the last 7 years. It shows that he met with Burisma. I think it's not on his public schedule, but we have another one where Hunter Biden was snuck into the back of the State Department. So he's meeting with the Deputy Secretary of State, Tony Blinken, isn't reported, because if he had the meeting, it would have violated the Foreign Agents Registration Act. So there are plenty of very, very damning things with regard to Ukraine on the hard drive. The main one being that Joe Biden's been lying for 7 years about it and knew all about it.
Now that was an absolutely brilliant 5-minute rant I've just given you. And I forgot to press the record button. Oh. So let's start again. I was explaining that, the left are saying that this is disinformation and it's Russian disinformation, it's fake news. But this is out of Joe Biden's own mouth at the Council for Foreign Relations. He says that he managed to get the prosecutor of Ukraine sacked.
I remember going over convincing our team, or others too, convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, for, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I said, we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here. And I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired. And they put in place someone who was solid.
It's evidence. You know, it's not hearsay. It is frontline evidence. He said it outright on his own, in his own admission. He wasn't colluded. He wasn't forced into it. It wasn't done through torture. He voluntarily gave that information to the public. It's on YouTube so everybody can see it. Joe Biden used his influence in 2006 as vice president to get the prosecutor of Ukraine sacked because he was looking into Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden's company that he worked for, that he was a director for. I think the figure that they're spouting is $83,000 a month. It is alleged that Hunter Biden is a crack addict. It's also alleged on... I couldn't quite know how to explain this. I can only explain it as it is. Alex Jones and the health ranger were talking about the laptop and what was on the laptop. They report, and I've got to say this from my legal side, the allegation is that there is child pornography on the laptop. The child pornography is Hunter Biden, the crack addict, allegedly, is with Chinese kids. Now, did he take the video for his own use? Or did the Chinese give him the video and he's being blackmailed by the Chinese? And could it be that because he is being blackmailed, that Joe Biden could be blackmailed? I don't know the question. I only pose the question. Can you trust these guys? Joe Biden's up for being the president of the United States. His son is receiving money from the wife of the ex-mayor of Moscow, who's friends with Putin. He is receiving money from Ukraine. And the emails of what's going on in China haven't come out yet. They're still on the laptop. They haven't released those yet. What's that going to say when it comes out? You've got to keep up with this story. You've got to keep following this story. There's more that's going to come out. And I think Hunter Biden ought to be really asking some serious questions. He ought to be in the custody of the FBI, in a cell next door to Maxwell. You can't trust these people. You know? Anyway, let us see how long this will stay up. This time it is recorded. This modern technology, I'm trying to do my best with it, but I can't get on with it sometimes. Anyway, this is Ian Summerall, Somerset News Network, signing off. And this story has legs. If you work in a newsroom, a story is, a day, 24-hour story, or a story's got legs, may last a week. This is a millipede. This story could go for years. Anyway, find out as much as you can about Hunter Biden and tell everybody. It's the only thing we can do. If the mainstream media aren't telling you, we've got to do it ourselves. Ian, Somerset News Network, signing off. Stay safe.